Hey guys, what's going on? So sorry about that, a little late, but one, I actually thought the game was going to start a little after 8:30. I forgot I was on TNT, which means it's starting on time. So, but we're here now. It's all good. Also, as you guys come into the chat, make sure you let me know how the sound is, video quality, and all that. I mean, so far it's been a good start to the game. I like the pace for both teams. Brogdon just hit a three, so the little graphic here with the score might be a little ahead of the stream I'm watching, but you'll still get the same quality play-by-play. But looking at this game, it's clear early on what's going to be the keys for both teams. For the Heat, it's their ability to get into the paint, finish at the rim. Adebayo as well on the boards, and his ability to create second shot opportunities. For the Celtics, it's going to be about ball movement, getting out and running at every opportunity they can. And if they can do that, then I think the Celtics win the series. But it's going to be tough with Miami and the toughness that they've shown with this group under Eric Spoelstra. So as you guys come in, say what's up in the chat, all that good stuff. Hopefully everybody's having a great night. I know I'm excited for this series as we're in a timeout. I just love conference finals. Do some more live streams. I might even start doing Western Conference games as well, depending on if I have a show or not going on. But yeah. So far, game's going about as well as I thought it would. I wasn't expecting Miami to come out and just, lay down and not show up. So, all right. Hold on. Let's put this in the chat. All right. I do think I've actually figured it out. So now put your chat down there. It should pop up on stream as well. Actually, I might have to move that chat box because it might be like where my face is right now. Let me see this. See a couple of you in the chat. What's going on? So as you're coming in, let me know who you think's winning tonight. What are your expectations for the series? Whatever you want to talk about. Okay, so that should be good to go. All right. Yes, so we're in a timeout right now. Celtics have the 1 point lead. So far, like I said, pace has been, I think, good for both teams. We know if it starts getting out of hand and really turns into a track meet, I think that favors the Celtics. Miami wants to run on occasion, but they like to slow the game down, try to create foul problems and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how both teams finish out this first quarter, and we'll see how this game goes. This game obviously isn't the be all end all in this series. It's just game one, but I think we might learn a little bit how the course of this series might go. Also, for you tuning in, let me know how the audio is, my video going. Just let me know. All right, so yeah, so coming out of timeout, like I said, the score that's on the screen here is a little ahead of my stream, but I'm going off of the stream, so you might be a little ahead of me, but just bear with me. All right, so cut out the break. Butler hit a jumper over Rob Williams, and then Brogdon came back and answered with a three-pointer in the corner, so it's now 19-17 Celtics. Got Jaylen Brown up at the top on Butler. Butler gets into the lane, gives to Vincent, who got Brogdon up in the air and got the foul call. Smart play by Vincent. And he'll get 2 shots at the free throw line. But yeah, so like I said, if you have questions or anything, want to put your comments about what's going on in the game so far, feel free to do that. So Vincent at the line for 2. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Whether you're YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, I believe that's everywhere the stream is up right now. So make sure to hit the follow, subscribe, and notification as well so you'll know when I go live, because I do plan on doing that a lot more. And I'm also trying out something different. Normally I do this with the game on my iPad, but I actually have it on the second monitor here. So hopefully it doesn't mess with my video too much, so I don't lag all that much. But Vincent hit both free throws. Then on the other end, kicks it in the Smart. Brogdon with the up fake gets into the lane. He missed the little runner. Martin with the rebound, come back the other way. Brogdon has him at the top. They switch up there. They get it to Butler, who now has Robert Williams on it. Let's see what he does here. Butler gets into the lane. Kicks it out. Yeah, he kicked out to Martin over in the far corner. Martin knocks down the 3. It's 22-19 Miami. All right, Brogdon coming back. He gets into the lane, tries to dump it off to Williams, and it was knocked out of his hand by Adebayo. Good look by Brogdon. Would like the pass to be a little bit better. And if he does that, I think Williams has an easy layup there, but Adebayo was in a good position to get a hand on the ball. I will be here halftime as well. So if you want to save questions and all that for then, we'll definitely do that. I'll probably talk about some of the other, I guess the Western Conference at halftime or something. So on the inbounds, Brown put up the runner in the lane, missed it, but tipped it back in for his rebound. So it's now 22-21, Miami, 4:09 to go in the first quarter. Butler tried to force a pass to Zeller. Turnover. Brown coming the other way. Gives it to Brogdon, and Brogdon gets fouled by Kyle Lowry. He'll go to the line for 2. Little miscommunication between Zeller and... Well, I think Zeller's angle is a little sharper than Butler thought. I think Butler thought he's going to kind of stop in the lane, but... Oh, I thought Brogdon was going to the line. I thought it was a shooting foul, but guess not. All right, so inbound to Smart. Smart takes it to the lane with Lowry on him, up and under, just rims out. Smart going to the line. I think that's going to be a key as well. Marcus Smart and Kyle Lowry. Okay, they get the foul to Zeller. Could have easily given that to Lowry first. What's going on, Key? Hopefully you're having a great night. Also, I mean, who do you have winning this game or the series? You can let me know. Smart hit the first one, knocks down the second one, 23-22 Celtics. All right, so come back the other way. Couple of screens at the top. Butler gets it to his shot. Tried to bank it in, I believe. Missed that one. Got his own rebound. Knocked it over Horford. So 24-23 Heat going back the other way. Marcus Smart on the left wing. Throws a beautiful pass to Brown at the rim. 25-24 Celtics. I give Smart a lot of credit. He's become a really good point guard playmaker this year. You know, a lot of past seasons, there's some questions about him thinking he was like a two guard and shooting too much, but he's really taken on the role of getting the offense going. Martin for three in the corner, rimmed out. Brown with the rebound. Going back the other way, and Martin baited him and got the interception there. Gets to the rim, lays it in. That was a great read by Martin. He saw the outlet pass that Brown was going for and broke on it. So 26-25 going into another timeout break here with 2:51 to go. Okay, it's good first quarter so far. I mean, I said this on the last live stream. What was that? Like game 4 of the Sixers series? Well, the further we get into the playoffs, the closer the games I want. Because that's where we see the superstars in the league really shine. So I'm hoping this series is, I mean, obviously I want my Celtics to win, but, you know, I'm hoping each game's competitive. Maybe the closeout game. I'll take a blowout in the closeout game. But outside of that, I want tightly contested games. All right, we're still in the timeout here. Talking about Starry. Another Fast and Furious movie. Was like Fast and Furious. What was that, like 12 now? Like everybody's been in these movies outside of like Optimus Prime and Deadpool at this point. I guess you gotta respect them for continuing to put these movies out. Showing Shohei Otani. Check out baseball marketing somebody. All right, well, should be coming back from the break shortly. And okay. But yeah, so far, you know, Butler's having a really good start to the game. Let's say Adebayo's been pretty good. Butler, like I said, Butler's been fine. Brown, I meant to say. I think Brown's had a pretty good start. Tatum's had an okay start as well. Like I said, you know, Spoelstra coach teams, they're going to be prepared. That's a given. And Mazzulla on the other side, I feel like he's definitely, you know, grown up, developed his coaching style throughout these playoffs. I mean, technically, if you look at games 6 and 7 in the Philly series, he did make the adjustment, bringing Rob Williams to the starting lineup, which worked in that series. I want to see what he does in this series to, if needed, of course. I mean, I don't know if they find themselves down like 3-2 again, but I will be paying attention to Missoula's like rotation and all that. I do think Mazzulla could be a really good coach. I just feel like people need to understand it's his first playoff run. He's going to make mistakes, so I'm not necessarily sweating it that much. All right, so we're back. Got Tatum got in the lane, knocked it in, looking for the foul. Could have been. All right, so we see right now, Missoula has Pritchard in. Haven't seen a lot of Pritchard in the playoffs, so we'll see how this works. I think going up against the Kyle Lowry, Pritchard can work. Let's just see if he can knock down, some threes, because that's what he's in there for. He's in there to score. So screen at the top, Tatum over to Brogdon. Brogdon airball the three, but White with the offensive rebound gets it to Brogdon, and then Brogdon threw it away to Butler. So Butler back the other way. Tatum meets him up at around half court. They set the screen to get Pritchard on him. This would be the worry of the Heat kind of singling Pritchard out. But he played Butler well there. They give it back to Butler. Pritchard's still on him. Butler gets to his spot, pull up, knocked it in. Pritchard did as much as he could on that play. Can't be mad at that. But that's where you would worry, bringing in a Pritchard against Miami, that they'll single him out and get Butler, or I guess Butler's probably the main worry there. All right. Hold on. Looks like my video feed went a little haywire. Yeah. The audio and the video lagged out on me. But, yeah, like I was saying, I'm fine with bringing in Pritchard, because I think Pritchard in this series could be a good player when the defense collapses on Brown and Tatum. He's a guy you can kick it to, and he'll knock down a three. Defensively, you got to worry about him. Now, the Heat have brought in Duncan Robinson. I think that's a decent matchup for Pritchard defensively. And Derek White just hit a three, so it's now 30-28, 53 seconds to go. Let's see, we got our comment on the Facebook stream. Hold on a second. For some reason, I still can't get those comments to come through. Hold on a second. Pulling it up. Oh, it's Joshua Bailey. Okay, what's up? He put Boston. Hey, you know that's who I'm rooting for. Oh, it's Joshua Bailey. Okay, what's up? He put Boston. Horford there with the great recovered defense. Martin, they had a 3-on-2, and Horford challenged him at the rim. So got under 15 seconds to go, 30-28 Boston. White with it up around half court. He's got Butler on him. He gives it to Tatum with Lowry in the corner to Pritchard. He was just short. And that's going to end the first quarter. I mean, that's a lot to ask Pritchard to knock down that shot necessarily. He hasn't played in a while, so I think that's where he could be valuable. I do think those shots will be available all night, and I expect Pritchard to knock down a good amount of those. All right, what up, Jordan? All right, back in the timeout. After the first quarter, so it's 30-28. Very even both sides. Like I said, I think this is the way that the series is going to go, back and forth. Yeah, Miami's an 8 seed, but we know talent-wise, culture-wise, whatever, they're not a standard 8 seed. Like, if you don't take them seriously, you make mistakes, they will make you pay for it. Play smart, execute, you can definitely beat them, but I'm not going to look past them. I'm not going to do the ESPN thing where they have Celtics as like a 97% favorite. I think that's disrespectful to Miami. I know Gene talked about that on Wire to Wire. I'm right there with him. Hero's still out. Yes, Hero is out. They showed him on the sideline in street clothes. I actually haven't heard a lot about Hero. I don't know if he's. I think the last thing I heard was that he might be back, like if they made the finals. But I feel like if I'm hearing that, there's a chance maybe later in the series. I don't know. Maybe during halftime I'll look that up and see. Because like I said, I haven't heard anything about Hero in a while. I mean, Duncan Robinson probably doesn't want him to come back because the minute Hero went out, Duncan Robinson got back in the rotation. Yeah, I don't know. I do, like I said, haven't heard anything, so I'm under the impression he's probably not coming back. But something tells me if the Heat find themselves in the finals, could we see Hero possibly play a few games? Just double checking. Said hopefully the chat is popping up on screen. I knew I have that on. They are not going to the finals. I completely agree. I have the Celtics in 6. That's only because my rule is conference finals series have to go at least 6, so I'm taking the Celtics in 6. That's just my rule. Not saying you can't have a sweep or anything like that, but I got them in 6. Yes, I definitely agree. That is the key to this series. Take care of the ball, trust your offense, move the ball around, have motion in the offense, and I think the Celtics will be fine. All right. Larry up top gets the screen from Adebayo, pulls up over Brogdon, knocks it in. I want to see what Lowry looks like as this series goes on. When they met last year, it seemed like as the games went on, Lowry started cutting up short on a lot of his jump shots. Brogdon out to Derek White. Back to Brogdon. Gets into the lane. Pull up. And got hit on the arm by Vincent. Going to the line for 2. And Pritchard's still out there. So it looks like Mizzou's giving him a shot to earn some time in the rotation in this series. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. All right. Brogdon set to take his first free throw. Knocks it in. If this season goes the way I think will with the Celtics, like we have to look back at that Brogdon deal where they got him for Neesmith and a couple of pieces and how much that has changed the Celtics team. Because we know he's he's not a flashy guy. He's very quiet, but he's intelligent, seems like a leader, and I think that's paid dividends for the Celtics this year. All right, so the Heat went a little pick and roll, bounced past the Adebayo, got a little tug from Tatum. They called a foul on him. So it's going to be side out. Celtics up 32-30. Get into Martin. To Adebayo up around the three-point line. That I think Rob Williams wanted to carry there, but Rob Williams, you've seen, is sagging off of Adebayo, so he's going to have to be able to pull up and knock down those little mid-range shots. Tatum gets into the lane, finish at the rim. He has to get back into defensive play. Kick it out to Lowry, knock down a 3. Okay. So right now it's 35-34. Get to Brogdon. That was a questionable shot. Little double pump runner. Up to Lowry. All right, Lowry hit a 3. All I'll say is don't overreact to Lowry's necessary, 3-point barrage right now. He's the guy, like I said, I don't think this will be here once we get to games like 3 and 4. Game 1, he might look good. They got Pritchard in the switch, threw it over the top to Adebayo, is knocked away. Pritchard with the steal. Brogdon over to Tatum. He has Lowry on him. Gives up to White. White with Duncan Robinson. Yeah, you can. I wish he would have taken Robinson to the paint. Brogdon gets into the lane, knocks it in. That's good offense there. So the same way the Heat kind of seek out Peyton Pritchard defensively, you can do the same thing with Duncan Robinson as the Celtics. So definitely look for that from both teams. So Adebayo's going to the line. Heat have a 2-point lead here. And Adebayo missed the first one. All right, so Pritchard's coming out. Looking at the stint he just had on the court, I'd say okay. Didn't score, but he did help with the pass over the top to Adebayo that he knocked away. So we'll see when he comes back in the game if he does. All right, so White bringing the ball up as Adebayo hit the second one. It's 39-36. White gets the screen from Rob Williams. The Heat are in a little bit of a zone here. White up fakes, gets into the lane, kicks it to Brogdon. Brogdon up top to Tatum. Tatum for three. I don't know what's going on there. Martin in the corner and got a kickball on Brogdon. So you knew this was coming. The Heat will change up their defenses. They went into a zone. Now, if you played basketball, you know how with the zone you got to attack it from the middle out. That possession, the Celtics didn't necessarily do that. If they Heat are in the zone on the next time up the floor, well, they brought Jaylen Brown back in. I could see him kind of manning in the middle. Robinson missed the three. Rob wins the rebound up to Derek White over to Jaylen Brown. Okay, looks like they're back in man now. Jaylen Brown gets into the lane, throws over the top to Rob Williams, and gets fouled by Adebayo, who'll go to the line for two. Yeah, so the Heat went zone possession before. This time they went back to man. Those are the little tricks that Spoelstra is going to use throughout this series. Mix it up. You might see some, I don't know, box in one or something. Spoelstra will do anything he can defensively to try to confuse the Celtics. Rob Williams misses the first free throw, so we're still 39-36. Showing the playoff schedule. Got so we got Lakers, Nuggets tomorrow. Like I said, halftime, we will talk about that series. So it's 39-37. We got 8:35 to go in the second quarter. Vincent's coming up the court, pulls up for three over Smart, missed it, but they got a foul on Derek White down low with Robinson going for the rebound. They're calling him on a push off down there. All right, so Joshua comes with Heat will make their runs with C's have more firepower. Yes, definitely agree. If the Celtics keep their head and stay composed, they'll be fine. All right, passing into Adebayo. Gives it up to Duncan Robinson, who's going to shoot the three. Missed it. All right, Tatum coming back the other way. Gives up to Brown. Brown to the corner to Derek White for three. That's long. Rob Williams. Rob's active around the rim, but he couldn't come up with that one. Yeah, Adebayo traveled on that one. For the Heat, without Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson has to play better. Yeah, we know Duncan Robinson, he's kind of a one-trick pony on offense. He's a 3-point shooter, but I think kind of the reason why he's fallen out of the Heat favor in Spoelstra is I feel like his 3-point shot hasn't been as consistent as earlier in his career. Brown gets to the rim, floater, knocks it in. Brown's really good at that. He can get in the lane, he can hit tough runners like that. He's got 8 points already, 4 for 8 from the field. Tatum on Lowry. Lowry goes over the screen by Adebayo and knocks in the three. All right, so 42-39. Smart gets across half court. Heat think that ball went out of bounds. No call, so they keep playing. They're in that zone again. Gives it to Rob Williams. I want Rob to kind of look at the rim there at least. Rob gets the rebound. Hey, they're letting them play. They are letting them play for the most part. So everybody that's tuning in, appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream right now. As you come in, like I said, say what's up, hi, whatever. You want to drop a comment like Joshua has been doing, feel free. Just want to give your prediction and dip out. That's cool as well. But let's see. So Rob's got 9 points and 5 rebounds already. Look, we know how important Robert Williams is to the Celtics. He protects the rim on defense. He's a shot blocker offensively. He can create havoc offensive rebounds. He's a lob threat. It's always been about health. He looks good right now. Hopefully it stays that way. Vincent coming down. He's got Smart on him. Gives it to Butler in the corner with Tatum. Up top to Lowry, who has Derek White on him. Butler coming with the screen. Lowry goes away from it. Pull up. Okay, so I don't know what Lowry ate before this game, but he's on right now. 13 points for him. Smart taking the screen from Robert Williams. Goes to set a screen off ball to Jaylen Brown. Over the top to Tatum. All right, so they call a blocking foul on Vincent. All right, got another timeout on the floor. Okay. Once again, very competitive second quarter. Both teams are playing well. Lowry's playing really well for the Heat. Okay. All right. Well, as we wait for it to come back, let me know how you all are doing. Like I said, I'm relying on y'all. If the audio's off or something, gotta let me know. I haven't seen anything yet, so I'm assuming it's looking good. I guess while I have this moment, just let you guys know as well. If you don't see me over here on my channel, check me out over on Sports Empire Network. I'm over there Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. Some other days I may pop up on random shows. You never know, but those 3 days for sure. But there's also other really good shows on the network as well. Just want to put that out there right now. So after you subscribe here, go subscribe over there. Audio sounds great. Appreciate that, Dylan. It's my friend over there from Sports Empire Network. We do the Big Three together. Another really good show. It's crazy how guys come out of nowhere in some series like Lonnie did against my Warriors. I mean, that's kind of been the theme of these playoffs. For a game or two, you can get some crazy out of nowhere performances. Like you said, Lonnie Walker. I mean, look at James Harden game 1 in the Phillies series. You can look at KCP last night for Denver had a really good game, but it's going to be all about who sustains that. But yeah, it's a really good comment. But yeah. So go with that. Looks like this game one might be a Kyle Lowry game. Hope here is that where Harden went off in game one last series and then stole that game in Boston, that doesn't happen tonight because of Kyle Lowry. Yeah, so those of you just tuning in, like I said, as I started, was a little late. Forgot the game was on TNT. I was ready to go for it on ESPN and then had to switch over. So only missed a couple of minutes, so it's all good. But yeah, just to let you know, each Celtics game, as long as I'm not doing a show on the Sports Empire Network, I will be doing a live play-by-play. I will even probably do some Western Conference games as well. So like I said, I just have fun doing this with you guys, and like Joshua in the chat's been really active, throwing out comments and questions and all that. Feel free to do that as well. I will answer, acknowledge your comment all the way through. During halftime, I'll stick around. We can talk even more then. After the game, I'll hang around a little bit as well. We'll recap the game and get your thoughts on what went on. But it is 44-44, a little under 6.5 minutes to go. Butler up at the top with Brogdon on him. He gets the screen, gets into the lane, and lost the ball out of bounds. Celtics ball. Lowry will most likely fizzle out. I completely agree. At least that's what he did last year. Each game, you can tell like Lowry's legs out a little heavier. So I think that happens again here. Celtics got a foul call on Martin on a rim run by Marcus Smart. It was a late whistle. Reggie Miller was talking about that. I do agree with him. I hate when refs kind of wait to see if the player makes a shot or not before calling the foul. Yeah, Martin gave him a little push in the back. Yeah. Smart 3 points, 5 assists. All of his points are on free throws. And missed the second one. I guess that's the broadcaster jinx because I talked about that and I don't know. 45-44, Celtics with the lead. Butler has it up top with Brogdon. And gets the screen from Kevin Love. Butler's kind of stuck at the top. Nowhere to go. And yeah, great defense by Horford. Hey, if you guys have seen my play-by-plays, you know how much I love Al Horford. He's probably the biggest reason why I just want to see the Celtics win it all. Get Al Horford a ring. Outside of Tatum and Brown, of course. And Tatum with the bucket there, so I got 47-44. Yeah. We're coming down to the end of the first half here. This game has lived up to it. This is what a conference finals game should look like. We got Lowry back here. It's 49-47. He waves Kevin Love off. Gets a little fake screen from Martin. Martin over Horford. Misses it. Tatum with the rebound up to Jaylen Brown, who goes around Jimmy Butler. Gets into the lane. Gets the bump and the and one. So at halftime, I am going to talk about Jaylen Brown's future because I feel like with each game it gets talked about whether he stays in Boston or not. So that's something for you to think about. Wait till halftime till comment on that. But just remember, we're going to talk about Jaylen Brown. If I forget, remind me, because I do have an opinion on that. So Jaylen Brown's got 10 points already. But this is what Jaylen Brown's kind of done. He's been a guy who kind of gets the offense going at times, and he's been very consistent this playoffs. So Adebayo bringing the ball up. Horford meets them just inside the 3-point line. Gives it out to Lowry on the left wing. Takes the screen from Adebayo to get the switch on to Brogdon. Lowry gets into the lane, misses the pull-up jumper. Jaylen Brown with the rebound, so there's a 5 with a chance to go up 7 or 8. So Brown's got Martin on him. Calls over the screen, gets it from Smart, lobs it into Smart into the lane, to the corner to Horford for 3, knocked it in. That's what Al Horford's done all year. What do you shoot? 41% from 3? That's where the Celtics become so difficult. They have a lot of guys who can get into the lane and won't necessarily force it at the rim. They're more than willing to kick it out to guys like Horford or Derek White, who will be in a lot of those actions as well. But that's a great sign for the Celtics to see Horford knock down a 3 early. Here we go. So I got Jordan, that's my other homie from the Big 3. He's got to put in their Lakers in 6. Hey, whatever helps you sleep at night. Like I said, halftime we'll talk about the Western Conference Finals and during halftime. Because like I said, I'm not going anywhere for halftime. Man, I know it's you. Talking about, nah, it's Freddie. Freddie would have said more than just Lakers in 6. You know that. So the Heat called the timeout. They wanted to, Spoelstra seeing that the momentum has shifted to the Celtics. It's now 55-47. Defensively, the Celtics are I wouldn't say necessarily locking the Heat up, but they're definitely playing better defensively. I think the offense is starting to click. Whether it's Brown and Tatum getting to the rim, or Marcus Smart, who's been getting to at least into the paint for much of this game. Like what I'm seeing from him. But as Joshua added earlier, we can't get complacent against Miami, because Miami will make a run as well. Butler hasn't become playoff Jimmy yet in this game. He doesn't do it every game, but you got to worry about it. So we'll see whether or not he can jump in that phone booth and come out of Superman for Miami. Dr. Freddie, that is. Like I said, Jordan, if it was Freddie, we already know. He'd probably make some comment about the Celtics suck or something. I don't know. All right, we're still in the timeout, so just waiting to see. Yes, like I said, got a little over 4 minutes to go in the first half. So halftime, talk Western Conference Finals, talk about Jaylen Brown's future in Boston. I don't know, any other players you want me to talk about? Definitely put that in the chat as well. Talk about James Harden, where he plays next year. Like I said, we'll see where the conversation goes. All right, so we're back to the action. It's 55-47. Now 4 minutes to go. Vincent at the top. They try to run a play for Butler at the rim. Marcus Smart was there to sniff it out. Gets to Smart with the beautiful bounce pass to Brogdon. So right now, the Heat have to be careful with the last 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. It's a 10-point lead right now. Celtics are on a 15-3 run. The Heat don't want this game to get out of hand, of course, because they're not necessarily the most high-powered offense. Got a turnover, and Brogdon lost the handle there. Adebayo back the other way. Gets it to Strus, back to Adebayo. Adebayo has to be more decisive with the ball there. Strus with the pull-up, knocked it in. That's accidental offense there. Strus bailed him out, knocking that in, but not upset by that defense. 57-49, we're now under 3 minutes to go. Tatum with it. Brown off the Smart screen, then screens for Tatum. Tatum to the corner to Horford. Back to Smart, gets the screen. Smart with the dump off to Al Horford. Bucket at the rim for Al Horford. So Smart's not scoring a lot, but his impact is all over this game. Vincent, the wing, has Smart on him. Back to the top. Brogdon on Kyle Lowry. Lowry out to Butler. The pass is off. Jaylen Brown on him. Shot clock under 5. Butler gets into the lane. Missed it. Strus with the rebound, but shot clock violation. That's also a key for the Celtics. We know when Butler gets into the lane, he likes to up fake to try to get people off their feet and get those foul calls. Jaylen Brown stayed on his feet there, waited for Butler to go up, and then went up with him. They just put up an interesting stat about the Celtics having the points in the paint advantage, 18-2. If that happens, then Miami's really in trouble. All right, so Tatum at the top. Has Strus on him. He gets in the lane. Wow, they counted that. Okay. So 61-49. Let's see. There's the foul. Okay. Yeah, that should be an in one. Tatum's got 15 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. I like it. And makes the free throw, so it's now 62-49 Celtics. A little over 2 minutes to go. So right now you're looking at it. Tatum's on pace for 30+. Jaylen Brown's on pace for like 26, 27. It's not a bad formula for a Celtics win. Lowry has Brown on him. Gets it down low to Butler, gets the hoop and one. Butler's good at that. Not paying attention, he'll make a little dart to the rim, and Lowry with the great pass there to get it to him down low. Brogdon was a little late rotating over and fouled him there. All right, so Butler knocked in the free throw, 62-52. And so it's coming back the other way. And Tatum gets the rim, knocks it in, so 64-52. Back up 12. If you're the Heat, you want to get it under 10 at the half. If you're the Celtics, see if you can push it to 15. Vincent hits the 3, makes it 55-64. All right, Smart back the other way. Tried that play they like to do where Brown's on the same side of the court with him. Brown with a quick little cut to the hoop, and Smart gives it to him, but it was a kick ball. So you like seeing the Celtics with 64 points in the first half to let you know their offense has been going. Heat with 55, that's pretty standard for a Celtics defense. So I think the defense has been good. Offense has been Really good. Uh, Brown lost it going up for the one-handed slam on the baseline. Come back the other way. Martin with three, rims it in and out. Brown with the rebound, gets up to Tatum. Got a little half break going here. Kicks out to Horford. Back to Jaylen Brown. Oh, they called travel. Missoula's waiting for somebody to come back in. Yeah, Brown shuffled his feet a little bit there. I think when Horford got it to him, Brown was a little further beyond the three-point line than he wanted to. Otherwise, he probably would have pulled it from there, but that's a little outside of his range. So with 43 seconds left to go in the half, you take Tatum out, give him a little rest at the break as well. Brought in Rob. They give it into Adebayo. Rob on him. Adebayo into the lane. Gets stopped there. Smart stops Martin. Martin goes to the rim. Hey, that's a beautiful up and under. So 29.4 seconds is 57-64. Celtics coming up with the ball. Yeah, 5 seconds difference on the shot clock. So the Celtics will probably hold it for hopefully the last shot. Smart gets the screen with the lob to Rob Williams at the rim. Beautiful play there. It's now 6:57. And they went quickly, so there's still 15 seconds to go. But Lowry has it at the top, gets the screen from Adebayo, gets inside, gets the runner at the free throw line, missed it. And that's the end of the first half, where the Celtics will go into the half 66-57. Like I said, all things considered, really good half for the Celtics. For the Heat, wasn't that bad of a half. I mean, the 15-3 run definitely doesn't help Miami here. But yeah, good first half both ways. The Celtics will obviously have to do more of the same in the second half if they want to take this one. And for the Heat, probably got to get Butler going. All right, so like I said, we're at the half right now, so let's talk about it. So what are your thoughts on the first half and all that? I kind of just let you know what I think. Like what I saw from the Celtics. Lowry played out of his mind in the first half. Butler's going to go on a Butler type run. So I hope the Celtics will be ready for that coming out of the half. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with where the Celtics are right now. So transition, Jaylen Brown. He's having a good first half as well. I think a lot of the speculation about him in terms of, is he going to be back with the Celtics and all that kind of stuff? I think that's a moot point. I think him making, what did he make? All NBA. Was he All NBA third team? Either way, he made an All NBA team, which means he's in line for that Supermax. I think that does work in the Celtics' favor. Well, the only thing I would not worry, but wonder about is, do the Celtics offer the full Supermax, or do they just offer something kind of close to it just to prove how much they want Jaylen Brown? And does Jaylen Brown want the full max? I think Jaylen Brown might take a little bit less, depending on what that means in terms of roster building. But also, Jason Tatum made All NBA, so he's in line for when his extension, Supermax as well. So if the Celtics would have signed both of them at the maximum amount, you'd have like over $600 million tied up in two guys. Sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But I think those are two guys that you can build around, bring in people to play with them who may not necessarily demand a lot money-wise. Because you have to look at the success the two of them have had so far in Boston. Like, they've been multiple conference finals. They've been to one NBA finals, possibly, well, based on my prediction, another one this year. If they're able to win a ring this year, that definitely would help with free agents. But I mean, not knowing the cap situation off the top of my head, if you sign both of them, you lock them up. I think you still have Marcus Smart for a few years. You got Robert Williams for a few years. Al Horford is a guy who I think at this point, to steal another Boston reference, so any of you Boston, people in the chat will know this, but later in their career, it's kind of like Tim Wakefield with the Red Sox, where he was kind of on a year-to-year basis, where it's basically like, are you down to play? If you are, we'll just give you this, and kind of that kind of agreement. I mean, who knows? If the Celtics win it all this year, maybe Horford retires, walks off into the sunset with the ring. But I think outside of that kind of being your core group, you can fill in the roster with Hauser types who's not making a lot of money. I think Hauser will actually be an important piece next season. Quick little bold prediction, I guess. I think they're going to try to use Hauser next year like they hoped Nesmith would have been. I think Hauser's, even though Nesmith was like the best three-point shooter in college when he came out, I think Hauser is a better three-point shooter, at least that I've seen NBA-wise, but that's getting off track. I think the Celtics can sign both Tatum and Brown and still put competitive teams on the floor. And as a Celtics fan, that's all I would want from them. Obviously, to me, I think Tatum and Brown definitely need to win a ring, of course. But a lot of the talk about splitting them up and all that, I think, has been wildly overblown. Because, yes, they've had a lot of success early in their careers, but they're both young and still developing. Jaylen Brown gets better every year, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely respect Jaylen Brown 1,000,000%. One of my favorite players in the league, Jaylen Brown. A lot of people had doubts about him coming out of college. He's proven them wrong year in and year out. And look, now he's an all-NBA player. What's not to love about that? Tatum, for as young as he is, all the pressure of being in a city like Boston, with the pressure of winning a title, I feel like he's dealt with it better than I could expect. So I think those two guys will be in Boston long-term together, even though a lot of people wonder, oh, they're not even friendly. I think that's garbage as well. Yeah, that's my Jaylen Brown moment. So then to get back to Jordan, if you're still in the chat with your Lakers in 6, I don't know how many of you watched the game last night. You know I did. And looking at that game, I look at the first 2.5 quarters when Denver was getting out and running, getting anything they wanted offensively. Defensively, they got convenient stops. I'll never say Denver's this great defensive team, but I love the pace that Denver played with early in the game when they got their big lead. I hated the fact that when they got the big lead, they slowed themselves down, got careless with the ball, which fed into the Lakers and got momentum swinging their way, led to them coming back in the game. But Denver held on, won the game anyway. I still have Denver in I think I have Denver in 7 in that one. I still believe in it. Was encouraged by the first 2.5 quarters. Fourth quarter, not so much. But the Lakers weren't able to take full advantage of it. So I think Mike Malone has to look at this team and say, first half, great. Second half, play like the first half all game. I think the Nuggets win the series. I'm not counting the Lakers out yet, so Lakers fans, calm down. I'm still picking the Nuggets, but I wouldn't call the series over yet. Well, let's see what Game 2 looks like. I think the Nuggets win Game 2, which would then make Game 3 the biggest game of the series for the Lakers. See what else I still want to talk about. James Harden, yes. James Harden. I don't get the necessary obsession with him. I've said for years now, Harden is wildly overrated. We saw it again this year in the playoffs. He kills it in game one, disappeared in games two and three, killed it game four, decent game five, disappeared when it mattered game six, and absolutely disappeared game seven. So Dylan chimes in here. What do you think Reeves will get free agency period? I'm hearing the Lakers are concerned teams will offer more than 4 years, $50 million. Actually, I'm gonna leave that up. That is a good question because so when I look at Reeves, I think Reeves can be a valuable member to any team. My worry if I'm Reeves or if I'm the Lakers is one of these teams overvalues him, which is kind of what the question's saying, offers him crazy money thinking he's going to be the difference maker for a team instead of him being a contributor, then him chasing the money and then ultimately becoming overrated because of the contract he's on. If the Lakers bring him back 4 years and $50 million, to be honest with you, I think that's great value for a guy like Austin Reeves, who he can handle the ball, he can, get into the lane. He's got mid-range game, he's got the 3-point game. Like I said, I do worry some all it takes is one team to go crazy and offer him like 4 and 75 or 4 and 80 or something like that. To where I don't think the Lakers could necessarily go in that range because with the other pieces they may have to re-sign this offseason, because D'Angelo Russell is a free agent. Now, D'Angelo Russell needs to have a big series against Denver if he warrants necessarily being re-signed. If D'Angelo Russell plays this series like he did in game one, be honest with you, I wouldn't give D'Angelo Russell a crazy contract. Even though he is young, he has the potential to, go off any night. But this is the time when he has to show it for real. So, I mean, look, I kind of have the same battle with Grant Williams. Now, I think luckily for the Celtics, the fact that he doesn't play a lot right now has to drive down what Grant Williams thinks he can get. Because remember, early in the year, Grant Williams was talking about $20 million a year. There's no way he's getting that. And maybe that's the whole plan here with Mazzulla. You don't play him, you drive down his value, and then the Celtics re-sign him, whatever. But not to get off track. I kind of view Reeves in that same mold. Because look at Grant Williams last season. Grant Williams, when it got to the playoffs, became a household name for the series against Milwaukee. And a lot of people were thinking he was going to make decent money when he became a free agent. And I worry that is what might be happening with Austin Reeves. So, 4 years and 50, that's what, 12 and a half a year. I don't know if that gets it done. But I'd also feel like if you went more than like 4 and 64, 65, you might be overpaying him. But that's a good question. I'm trying to. Actually, now that I think about it, Houston has money to spend. I know they're talking about James Harden in Houston, but let's be honest. I'd probably rather have Austin Reeves than James Harden. I think Austin Reeves would cost less, of course, but with the young players Houston has, I don't want Harden in that locker room, but would a team like Houston throw money at Austin Reeves to get him there? I could see that. I'm trying to think what other teams have a lot of money to spend this offseason. Therefore, Austin Reeves has got to be, do you leave what you possibly have in LA to join Houston and with a lot of uncertainty? I mean, yes, they have a new coach in Udoka, but Wouldn't that be kind of a step down going from the Lakers to Houston? So that has to be what the Lakers are hoping, that Reeves gives them a bit of a discount for being in LA with a big name franchise like the Lakers. So yeah, I think that answered your question. I'd say 4 and 65 million might be the highest I would go for Austin Reeves. Yeah, anybody else have any questions? Throw those in the chat as well. Talk about the coaching situation. So right now we know Nick Nurse is out there, Mike Budenholzer, Monty Williams, Doc Rivers recently got fired. We're also hearing names like Isaiah Thomas, Mark Jackson, which is like the yearly tradition of Mark Jackson's name popping up in one of these jobs. I'd be interested to see which one of them signs first. I think. All right, well, actually, let's look at the other side. The jobs that are open: Toronto, Milwaukee, Phoenix, Philly, Detroit. For some reason, I believe the Charlotte job is open. I keep saying Charlotte for open jobs. I think that one is actually open. So those are 6 jobs that are open. I would say the best job available. Oh, did I say Milwaukee? I might have forgotten Milwaukee. So I think the best jobs that are open are probably Phoenix and Milwaukee. Phoenix because of Durant and Booker. I mean, you do have to deal with the Chris Paul issue, although Chris Paul's a free agent, so maybe you don't have to deal with that. Milwaukee, you're walking into a situation with Giannis. I mean, I would take that any day of the week. Do have some questions with Middleton though. As the new coach, you gotta put a system in place that gets Middleton back to pre-injury Middleton, and not this Middleton that we've seen the past couple of years, where he looks like a guy who can't create off the dribble. Seems like his shot's falling off a little bit, and has trouble staying healthy. But I think out of the coaches, I think the first one who probably gets the job is, I think Monty Williams might catch on somewhere first. I think either him or Nick Nurse will be the first coach signed. I was back from the half. Last thing to talk about, draft lottery. If you saw Big 3 last night, I called San Antonio winning it. We saw this with Tim Duncan. San Antonio wins it. If I'm Wembanyama, great coach to learn under as my first coach, and Popovich probably gives him a reason to stick around for another couple of years before transitioning to whoever, Becky Hammond, I don't know, Tim Duncan, whoever becomes the next coach of San Antonio. But I'll be interested to see what the draft, where the top prospects go, who moves their pick as Portland or Charlotte. I doubt they trade out, but you never know. But as we're back, Adebayo takes the first shot of the third quarter, and he knocks it in the paint, 66-59. Come back the other way. Marcus Smart gets the ball across half court, gives it to Tatum, who gives it back to him, gives it to Brown in the corner. Brown gets to the rim, and jump ball. I think it's going to be between Brown and Vincent. Yes. Waiting for the jump ball here. Still waiting. And Celtics win the tap. Got 11 seconds on the shot clock. Smart throws up to Rob Williams. Smart's gotten so good at those lob passes to Rob Williams. That had to be a perfect pass because Adebayo was right there, and it was just over his fingertips right to Rob. So 68-59. I got an offense foul on Kevin Love. They're showing the pass again. Perfect pass right at the front of the rim. Marcus Smart's so good at that. So turnover from the Heat. Celtics come back the other way. Marcus Smart across the half court line. Gets the screen from Al Horford. Shoots the three. Knocks it down. So got 71-59 Celtics. And looks like the scoreboard stopped updating. I don't know why. Hold on a second. Let me fix that for you. Adebayo gets to the rim. Tough shot. And turnover from the Celtics back the other way. Up to Butler. Butler pull back for three. Up fake. Gets to the rim. Gets to Adebayo. Pull up. Missed that one. Okay. There we go. Got the scoreboard fixed. Let me fix the view for you. There we go. All right. I got you guys. Adebayo's got 13 points. I missed his numbers. I think it's 13-6. Missed the first free throw. Okay. Second free throw from Adebayo and knocks it in. So 71-62. A little over 10 minutes to go. Celtics with a 9-point lead here in the third quarter. Marcus Smart takes across for half court. So Adebayo's got 14 points, 5 rebounds right now. Smart gets the screen from Horford. Kicks it back out to Horford, who goes off the dribble past Love to the corner to Smart for three. In and out. Good look there. Heat come back the other way. Adebayo gets into the lane. Up fake. Gives it back to Kevin Love with Tatum on him. Gets out to Strus. Pulls up on Tatum. Knocks it in. Tough shot. Tatum was right there, but Strus knocked it in. So it's now 71-65. Out to Horford for three. Back rimmed it. Vincent gets it. Gets out to Kevin Love. Kevin Love pulls back from three. I mean, Kevin Love knocks it in. So Heat 9-0 run, gets it to Rob Williams underneath, and what are the? Okay, I think they call it a foul on the Heat. Couldn't tell what the ref was calling there. And of course, Reggie Miller had to reference, this looks like game one against Philly. Reggie Miller. I was kidding. He's supposed to do that as an analyst. So Smart gets into the lane. Tough shot. Gets the foul call on Strus. Smart will go to the line for two. Have a moment here. Like I said, thanks for sticking with me through the half. And, Dylan for the question that took a good bit of the half. Appreciate that one. So I was saying, yeah, Marcus Smart won the Hustle Award, which, I mean, let's be honest. He'll probably win another one of those through the rest of his career. Backer in the free throw. You guys like the Hustle Award and Great Teammate Award or whatever those awards are that they hand out after the season? I think they're fine. Have a little fun with them. Smart hits the second one. He's got 7 points, 11 assists. Yeah, he's having a good game. So 72-68. Vincent gets to the lane, pull up over Smart, knocks it in. Got a 2-point ball game here. Tatum goes up to Smart. Smart gets it down to Brown, who's got Vincent on him with the post up. Brown gives it back to Smart for three. Missed it. Kevin Love with the rebound. There goes. Okay. I mean, Love did what Love's known for, the little two-handed chest pass down the court, and Vincent with the bucket to tie the ball game. Tatum with Butler on him. Butler knocks it away. Tatum gets into the lane, goes up, and missed it. And foul on Butler on the rebound. Okay, so tie ball game, a little over 8 minutes to go. We got the crowd trying to make a little bit of noise. Inbounds the ball. Brown's got it up top. He's waving Robert Williams off. He wants Brogdon to come off of a screen, who screens Tatum. Brown pull up from three, knocked it in. That hit every part of the rim before falling. Come back the other way. Butler in the left corner with Tatum on him. So I guess I have to say, for me, the Heat are going right to left. Celtics going left to right. That's old school radio right there, I guess. Adebayo with the and one chance as he took it in the paint and got the bump from Tatum. Knocked it. That was a tough shot. He knocked it in. Good finish. Adebayo, 16, 5 and 3. Free throw, rimmed it in and out. So Celtics had the 1 point lead. Brown coming back the other way. Like I said, Celtics going left to right on the screen. Brown pull up in the lane, missed it off the back rim. Adebayo come back the other way with a bounce pass to Strus. Knocked it in. Goes a goaltend on Tatum. The Heat have the lead at 76-75. So Brown gets it to Smart in the corner. Smart gets into the lane over Strus, and he came up short. So right now for the Celtics, I think they've gotten some good looks in the paint. It's just that I also think they're kind of forcing some stuff. Adebayo missed the putback at the rim. Brown back the other way. Brown gets to the lane, kicks out to Smart for three, knocks it in. That's what you want to see now. The half-court offense has bogged down a little bit. Get a couple of buckets in transition and kind of retake momentum. Butler gets into the lane, gives it to Adebayo. Adebayo puts it up, missed it. Butler with a tip in. That's tough. Yeah, Adebayo and Butler. You definitely have to account for those two around the rim because both guys are really good offensive rebounders. But we got a timeout here, and it's a tie ball game, 78-78. Just under 6.5 to go in the third quarter. So this looks like the first quarter so far. Back and forth. So, I mean, look, these are the conference finals. I don't care. I think when you get to the conference finals, in terms of seeding, it doesn't necessarily matter at that point. Both teams have won 2 series to get here at this point. So, that is supposed to mean that all things considered, these are the 2 best teams in the East. I mean, yes, there's more involved with it than that, of course, because it's about matchups, injuries, and all that plays into it. But for right now, these are the 2 best teams in the East. So, all right, 78-78. And am I word as a Celtics fan? Nope. Said game ones are feeling out process. You see what happens in game 2. All right. So those of you that are here in the chat, make sure you hit the subscribe button, or at least like the video. It's all helpful. Kind of let me know you like this kind of content. Because yes, I do have my podcast, chomping at the bit that I do. Hopefully some of you have caught some episodes of that. If not, make sure you do that as well. But live play-by-play type stuff, I like doing that a lot. So want to do more of it. But would love to know that you guys like this or not. Because, I mean, I'm doing this to the point where I want to put out stuff that you guys like to see. So TNT's advertising, I guess, a conversation between Kareem and Shaq. That could be an interesting watch. Okay, so they advertised it tonight, 7 p.m. Seems a little late for that, but I guess. Oh, it's showing Missoula in the timeout. I think Missoula's a psycho. But I love it. Yeah, he showed his frustration with the team. I expect the team to come out and respond to that. So Butler at the line. I'm sure what he's upset about was offensive rebounding for Miami. Adebayo and Butler especially. So he'd have the lead 79-78. Marcus Smart comes across half court. It's going to get the screen from Rob Williams, gets it to Brown. Brown gets it to Tatum. Tatum pull up. Back rimmed it. That's good action coming out of the timeout. I thought there was an opportunity there for maybe the lob at the rim to Rob Williams, but Tatum had a good shot. Butler gets to Strus. Strus gets into the lane. Swatted away by Tatum. Going back the other way. Brogdon. It's a 4-on-3. Celtics don't really have a break opportunity. Gets to Smart to Williams, and that lob, he kind of short-armed it. So 81-78. Miami gets it back to Tatum. Tatum comes across half court. Let's see what they run here. Kind of got to get a bucket here. Hold on. This feed keeps going crazy. So it's now a 1-point game. I believe that was Brown before the feed went out, who knocked in the bucket. And it's not coming back up. No. Come on. Hold on. I got a little technical difficulties. Give me a second. I mean, got the little scoreboard here, so it's 86-80 right now. Blah, blah, blah. So he'd have a... All right, I'm back now. Yeah, Strus hit the deep three. So 86-80. And right now, Reggie Miller is losing his mind. Wonder who he picked in this series. So Tatum gets to the rim, gets fouled by Kevin Love. He's going to the line for 2. Reggie Miller sounded like he got money on not the Celtics. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Well, it's kind of wild with the commentary. Just a quick little side conversation here. because ESPN, a lot of Celtics fans didn't like Doris Burke or Mark Jones necessarily in the Sixers series. And I got Reggie Miller being overly critical, I think. But it's all funny to me. I already know, depending on how this game goes, I'm probably going to see some people on Twitter who will say they hate the TNT broadcast. Which I'm a fan of the Celtics local broadcast, but at this point in the playoffs, you don't really get that. But Butler just had a tough, I guess that was like a double clutch, because he got up in the air, looked like he wanted to pass it, and then last second decided to take the shot, and he made it. So 88-82, Tatum at the top, gets by Butler, gets into the lane, and gets the two at the rim. 88-84, Heat with the 4-point lead. Butler coming back the other way. So Tatum has 22 on the game. So that a pretty good game. Butler has Derek White on him, gets the up fake and a late whistle. That's where I talked about early in the game. You got to worry. When Butler gets into the lane, he doesn't necessarily look to make a basket. He's looking to get a foul call. That's what he does. And on that play, Derek White got off his feet a little bit. That was enough for Butler to cause the foul. Butler knocks in the first one, 89-84. He's set for the second one. Butler's got 21, 4, 4, and 3. And knocks home the second one. So a 90-84 game. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Horford brings the ball up. Horford going at Zeller. Gets it to Brogdon. Missed the three. That was an open look. Once again, I can't be mad at that. Just got to knock it in. And Brogdon is a more than competent three-point shooter. Butler with the pull-up. Missed it. Tipped it out to Smart. Smart going back the other way, but the Heat have 5 guys back. And foul on Butler. Let's see. Yeah. Butler got ball, but yeah, there was a foul there. Okay, so the Heat have a 6-point lead. We're at a timeout, and yeah, the Heat are playing well. Game 1 on the road. That's what you want. They have a lead into the second half. The pressure in terms of being on their home floor is fully on the Celtics at this point. And look, the game's not over. Still a quarter to go, but the Heat are in a good position right now. It's a 2-possession game. Butler's playing well. Adebayo's playing well. Lowry, after the first quarter he had, I don't know if he's hit another bucket. So going down to the finish here, it might become Butler and Adebayo versus Tatum and Brown. Trying to see who else on the Celtics has really been. Well, Smart's been impactful, just not scoring necessarily. So, yeah, this is what we're here for. All right, still got some commercials going. Talking about Oppenheimer. Looks like an interesting movie. But yeah. You guys have any comments in the chat? down. Just checking something really quickly. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Hopefully having a great night. We're here in the third quarter. It's been a great game so far. Of course, I'd love to see my Celtics on the other side of the 6-point spread, but the Heat have played well. I can't take anything away from them. Okay. So I dropped a question in the chat. Feel free to answer that if you want. So yeah, okay. So I do still have the chat come up on screen. It's good. I had to make sure that feature was working. So Smart missed the first free throw coming out of the break. So it's still a 6-point game. They're showing the Missoula huddle. Yeah. Like the message from Missoula. So 90-85, Struce off this pick, missed it, and Butler got the foul call. Let's see this one. That's not a foul. That's not a foul. I don't care what Reggie Miller has to say. All right, so 91-85, Butler makes the first free throw. Okay, Butler for the second free throw, and he knocks it in. So got 92-85, Heat with the lead. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Horford comes across. Horford gets it to Pritchard. Pritchard off the screen. Has Lowry on and gets it to Brogdon. Brogdon gets into the lane, knocks it in, and one. That was a big bucket there. So we see that Missoula put Pritchard back in. I think this is first stint since the first quarter stint. So I guess Missoula liked what he saw from him on the floor. Interestingly, Grant Williams has not been in the game. So 92-87, Butler gets into the lane. White got the block. Okay. Gets it back. Goes to Martin. Martin out to Butler. That was a... So Butler hits the three. Seemed like a moving screen from Martin, but yeah, here's what it is. Pritchard off the screen gets to Brogdon. Brogdon up, waiting for the screen from Horford. He gets it. Brogdon looking, gets it to White. White gets into the lane, little pull up, knocks it in. So we got back and forth going. It's 95-89. And Marcus Smart's going, looks like he's going down the tunnel. Then he stops, so I don't know. So Butler's got Pritchard on him. Pritchard's moving his feet. Just stay there, force a tough shot. Kicks it out. Martin for three. Knocked it in. $90. Looks like they made it. I guess they called it 2. So 97.89. All right, so Tatum up at the top, gets into the lane, gets the bucket at the rim, so 97.91. 40 seconds to go. Lowry pull up, knocked it in. Reggie Miller's like 2 seconds away from me muting the audio. Tatum pushed that there. Man, shut up. Pointing out what's going on one end of the floor. Out to Horford. Missed it. Tatum mistimed his jump on the putback. So 99.91. About half a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So Miami should hold for the last shot, I'm assuming. In the corner to Strus. Knocked it in. So there was miscommunication there on the defense. Horford and I think Brogdon. And quarter in. So going to fourth, you got 102.91. Did they change the score? I feel like it was 102.91. Now it's 103. Unless if I'm assuming, I guess the bucket from Martin that I think was a 3 at first, they changed it to a 2 that they put back to a 3, so that's why it's 103.91, I think. So third quarter, the Heat outscored the Celtics 46-25. Couple of reasons for that. Celtics defense didn't get a lot of stops. Heat did hit some tough shots, but I think defensively there was so-so. Offensively, Celtics missed some good shots. They also had a few possessions where the offense broke down and wasn't exactly the best offense. Definitely have to win the fourth and get some stops. Yeah. Hold on a second. I saw it was Joshua. Yeah. That is true. The other thing is, though, even if the Heat win this game, and look, right now, that definitely looks like it, but the same way the Heat outscored the Celtics in the third, the Celtics can very easily do that in the fourth, so I'm not writing the game off yet, but I've seen this team lose games that you felt like they shouldn't, and then bounce back right after. So I mean, like I said, when I talk to Lakers fans, I tell them don't overreact to game one. I'm gonna say the same thing here. I wouldn't overreact to game one. There have been some things in this game that when Mazzulla gets back with the team in like the locker room, he'd have a lot to point out. At times, it seems like they, I think, pay too much attention to Jimmy Butler offensively. And I think that's kind of a habit a lot of teams have. Like, I get it. Butler demands a lot of attention because of the whole playoff Jimmy Butler mystique. But I think when you get to the point where all eyes are locked on him and you're losing track of the other guys on the perimeter who are moving, that's where a guy like Strus gets into a rhythm. Because a lot of his points have come off of action away from the ball and finding an opening. So I think that's something you can correct in a game too. But we're back 103-91. Brown with it at the top, Butler on him. Gets the screen from Williams. Out to Derek White. Pull up. Knocks it in. That's a good start to the fourth. We know the Celtics can shoot the three. If they get hot from there, this 9-point lead can be erased very quickly. But you got to get stops on the defensive end as well. So Pritchard's on Lowry. That's fine. Pritchard, yeah, he can guard Lowry. He fights through the screen. They get it to Zeller. Don't know what Zeller was doing there offensively. I got Butler on the floor. I'm not giving it to Zeller, trying to make him do something in the paint. And Brogdon with the pull up in the lane. It's now 103-96. Brogdon's got 16 on the game. That's kind of standard for him. Zeller with the screen. Lowry into the paint. Lowry stops in the paint, gives out the Butler around the logo. Butler goes to the rim. Missed it. Not a good start for the Heat. I hadn't seen Zeller this much involved in the offense the whole game. I don't know why you'd start that now. If Zeller's on the court, it should just be setting screens and getting out of the way. Brown into the lane. Brown knocks it in. So whatever good feeling the Heat had about the third quarter has been pretty much erased in a minute and a half. So now looking at this game, you're going to look at it two ways. The Celtics come back and win it. You'll look at this minute and a half to start the fourth and say that's where the Heat lost the game. If the Heat win it, you'll say, well, you just look back at the third quarter. That's where the Celtics lost the game. That's what you love about playoff basketball. There's a game of runs. Another Mission Impossible. Okay. I've kind of fallen off of the Mission Impossible series, to be honest with you. But I know what I'm getting into when I watch Mission Impossible. And that movie was what? Something Reckoning Part 1. I guess the Mission Impossible series coming to an end, maybe. But yeah, could be a good movie. So yeah, Celtics came out 7-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Have the lead back down to 5. So they're right back in this game, and the crowd's back into it too. That's another thing Miami has allowed with the Celtics getting the 7-0 run. At the end of the third, the crowd was dead silent. I think I heard a couple of boos in there maybe, but they're on their feet. And we're still in a timeout, so we'll see what Spoelstra comes up with out of the timeout to see if they can get some execution, get a bucket, calm the tide a little bit, because if they come out of the break and it's another like 24-second violation or a turnover or something, I mean the building might crumble. All right, another ad. Well, all right. Come on, game. Look, we had enough ads. Let's bring the game back. So I'm assuming coming out of timeout, this play is going to be run for Jimmy Butler, I assume. That seems like the most logical place for them to go. All right. Still in an ad. Love the Celtics pace right now. But they understand what's at stake here. If they can come back from this deficit, take game one, that could have residual effects for game two. Because if you're Miami, to this point, kind of had like a perfect game. And the fact that, they had a sizable lead and have lost it so quickly, maybe it doesn't pay off this game or the next game, but there might be a point where that creeps into Miami's head just of how good the Celtics team can be and how quickly they can score. So yeah, like I said, the crowd they're fully involved in this one now. All right, so out to Lowry, waits for the screen from Butler. Butler goes off. Lowry's got Brown on him. Gets a little screen, gets to the lane. That was a wild shot. That's not what you. I'm sure that's not what Spoelstra wanted coming out of the break. Celtics coming down. Chance to get it to 2. What? And Jaylen Brown is holding his elbow. Trying to see what happened. Oh, Lowry's clumsy self. Actually, I don't know. No, Butler staying in the game. Maybe he hit his funny bone or something. I don't know. All right, so I got a jump ball here. Is it me or have jump balls in the NBA gotten worse? I don't even know what that was as a jump ball. Vincent knocks in the 3 at the top. So we got 106.98. Derek White gets the screen from Rob Williams at the top. Gets over to Pritchard. Pritchard to Brown, who demanded the ball. He's got Butler on him. Butler tried to swipe it from him, gets to the lane, and one. So I guess the elbow's not hurting him as much because he made that play with his left. Butler thought he was slick because Butler saw Brown kind of looking off to the side. He went for the swipe, missed, and then Brown took him off the dribble and got into the lane for the and one. So Brown shoots the free throw, back rimmed it. Heat ball. So 106-100, 9:06 to go in the fourth quarter. So it looks like we're set for a great finish to this game. So gets it down to Adebayo. He's got Rob Williams on him into the paint, kicks it out. Martin gets to the lane, scoops it in. 108-100. So Brown up top, Adebayo on him, gets to the lane, gets out to Pritchard. Pritchard, that's a tough 3. Lowry gets it to Butler. Butler waiting some more. Gets a screen from Adebayo's got Rob Williams on, takes the jumper, missed it. Adebayo gets stripped, lost it, got it back, lost it again, and jump ball. Yeah, Missoula counters and brings in Horford because think they took out. Oh, I thought they took out Brown, but no. Get a little size in there because with that group that was on the floor, Adebayo's gonna kill them on the glass. Once again, these jump balls. I don't know what these are. So Lowry's got it. Lowry takes a deep three. I guess. Kicks it out. Derek White, three. Knocks it in. So got 108, 103. 7:45 to go. So Adebayo brings it across half court. Butler's pointing to the right side. Gets the ball. Screen and roll. He doesn't take the screen. Gets into the lane. Gets it to Adebayo. Knocks it in. So 110, 103. Got 7:15 to go. Gets it to Brown. Brown has Vincent on him. Brown gets to the lane. Gets it out to Derek White. Derek White up fake. Steps in. Gets to Brown for three. Off the back rim. Brogdon. And Butler stepped out of bounds on that drive. They missed that one, obviously. So Reggie Miller didn't spot that, but he's spotting everything else the Celtics have been doing. Like I said, I see you, Reggie Miller. I see what you're doing. So we got Butler with Derek White on him. Looking around, surveying, gets it to the lane. Fadeaway, knocks it in. 112, 103. Celtics need to make another run here. Butler, yeah, got the poke away from Brown. So Butler back the other way, dribbles in, kicks it out. Martin gives it to Lowry. Got 5 seconds. I don't know why they keep giving the ball to Lowry with like 5 seconds left. Why? Why do they keep putting themselves? I mean, look, they have the lead, so they can't necessarily get on them too much. But out of the guys on the court for the Heat, Lowry is probably the last guy I want the ball in his hands with 5 seconds left. So 112, 103. Tatum sets the pick for Brown. Brown gets it back to Tatum. Tatum's got Martin on him. Tatum puts a move, gets the foul call. Okay, so we're under 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Heat have a 9-point lead. Jason Tatum going to the line for two. Obviously, you'd like for him to knock down both of them here. Tatum's got 24 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Knocks down the first one, 112, 104. So I have a feeling we'll probably see the ball in Tatum's hand a lot come down the stretch here. And for Miami, stop, getting into situations where Lowry has it like well beyond the 3-point line under 5 seconds on the shot clock. Guarantee you he's not going to create a lot in those situations. So 112, 105, 5:45 to go. Butler has it at the logo. Jaylen Brown on him. Gets a screen from Vincent. Brogdon's on him. Pull up. That's a tough shot. All right, Tatum has it. Got it to Brown. Hey, accidental offense there. 114, 107. Jaylen Brown, 22 points, 9 rebounds. All right, so Smart's on Butler. Now to Brown, and then Brogdon on him now. Butler pull up. Yeah. Coming across, gets it to Horford, to Tatum. Tatum, and he got fouled at the rim. So 114-107, under 5 minutes to go. Tatum going back to the line. Chance to get 2 more points here. Clock stop. That's best case scenario for the Celtics right now as they try to get back into this game. Knocks down the first one. So we might get a lot of Butler with the ball in his hands down the stretch for the Heat. And then for the Celtics, Tatum with the ball. And knocks down a second. So 114-109. Under 5 minutes. Vincent brings it up across half court, and they call timeout. All right. Take a breath here. So here for the fourth, it went from 12-point lead for the Heat to 5, back to like 10, 5, and Celtics haven't really gotten closer than 5, I believe. But now with the timeout here, if they can get a stop here, go down with the chance to get it down to 3 or 2, get it to 1 possession as we get down the stretch here. That's the position the Celtics want to get into. If it's 2 possessions, the Heat have a little bit more of a margin of error. Just showed an ad for the new Little Mermaid movie. All right. Great game. However it ends up, yes, I am a Celtics fan, but like I said, I can keep it real with my team. Have they been flawless in this game? Absolutely not. If they were to actually win this, would you say that they probably stole this game from the Heat? I could probably make the same claim. But we know that, look, I think this is probably the MO of this team. They don't necessarily play really well in game ones. Like I said, they haven't been awful in this game. It's just that third quarter, they completely went away from everything that was working and kind of got behind the 8 ball, snowballed into what happened in the third quarter. But you look at the first, the second, and so far in the fourth quarter, when the Celtics have their head on straight and are executing offensively, they've won each of those quarters. The one quarter where they completely fell asleep at the wheel, the Heat outscored them by 21. So, like I said, a lot for Missoula to clean up going into game 2. I mean, even for Spoelstra, like I said, the Heat have lost quarters 1, 2, and so far 4. So in those 3 quarters, there's obviously stuff that Spoelstra can point to and say, got to do better with this. So as I'm saying, whichever side of this you're on, Heat, Celtics, no need to overreact. And yes, I get it. All the TV personalities, they'll dissect this game 3 million ways. It's still just game 1. Okay. Apparently, Jaylen Brown was bleeding like crazy in the last time out. That's interesting. So I'm assuming that's from the play down on the floor. Is that the hand he had the stitches in? I can't remember now. But yeah, they got a time. I mean, they got a turnover out of the timeout. So Celtics have the ball, 114-109. Smart gets it to Brown. Brown takes the screen, pull up from three. Good look. He just missed it. And Stan Van Gundy and Reggie Miller harping off of, oh, Tatum didn't touch it. Okay, Jaylen Brown is not a scrub. I want Brown or Tatum taking these shots. So Brown kicks out to Horford. Horford for three. That was short. Horford gets the rebound and made a terrible pass. So Butler picks it off. Oh, God. Van Gundy, I swear. Move on. Strus for three. Missed that. And tipped out of bounds by Adebayo. Yeah. I had to turn off the commentary. I don't hear Van Gundy say the same thing each trip down the floor. Missoula's called timeout, so we got 3:19 to go. It's 114-109. I guess to appease Van Gundy, let's see if they draw a play up for Tatum coming out of the timeout. All right, looks like I got a quick timeout here. Oh, man. All right, so just to reset. 5-point game here. So we're down to crunch time right now. So that means we're dealing with the big money players. So once again, opposed to what Reggie Miller and Stan Van Gundy are saying, I think the ball has to be in Tatum or Brown's hand. Brown is also all NBA. I don't understand why they act like it has to be in Tatum's hand. So I don't get some of these people who call these games, man. I didn't hear them say anything about the possessions where Lowry had the ball end of the shot clock when you had Butler on the floor. They didn't say anything about that. But they're upset that Jaylen Brown's taking some shots down the stretch. All right. Look, Tatum's got the ball. I guess they can calm their senses now. So Tatum gets it back from Brown. He's got Martin on him. Gets a screen from Smart. He's got Strus on him. Tatum dribbling. Yeah, he got in trouble there. Like to see more movement there. Because the problem was, yes, Strus was on Tatum, but who was that? I think Martin was like right there in the vicinity, and Butler was there as well. Butler missed it at the rim. So it's still a 5-point game. So Celtics still have plenty of time to get this back in their favor. And Brogdon goes to the lane and gets fouled. I think they called the foul on Butler on that one. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, that's a clear foul. I don't know what Butler's talking about. Literally came down and grabbed his elbow. So Brogdon's at the line for two. He's got 16 points on the night. Knocks down the first one. So 114-110. Got 2:31 to go. Butler's got his hands on his knees. I mean, he's put in work. Brogdon's second free throw, and he missed it. So we got 114-110, 2.5 minutes to go. Gabe Vincent bringing the ball up the court. Vincent dribbles in, gets it to Butler. Butler has it. Brogdon's right there. And the feed. What is going on here? Stream has an issue. All right, so Martin hit a three, and then we got a turnover on Tatum. All right, they're showing the play again. Good, because I didn't see it. Butler got into the lane, kicked it out to Martin. Smart was slow closing out, so yeah, Tatum did travel on that one. He dragged his pivot foot. So 117, 110. Butler gets into the lane, pull up jumper, missed it. Horford tips it to Brogdon. Brogdon up to Brown. Brown, going down. Gets it to Horford. Over to Brogdon. Brogdon gets into the lane. Missed it. Horford out to Tatum. I don't know about that travel call. Let's see. Yep. Yeah. His foot slightly came off the court. That was a travel. Once again, 117, 110. Vincent gets it to Adebayo. Adebayo faces up Horford. Adebayo gets into the lane. All right, kicks it out to Butler. He's got Brogdon on him. He's coming in, pulls up from three. I mean, okay. That's ball game. If he's going to hit a rattling three like that, Smart. Okay. I don't know what that layup was from Smart, but it went in. So 120, 112. So it looks like the Heat will dribble out the clock. Well, not dribble out the clock, but oh, hold on. Got a turnover here. Brown to Brogdon. Brogdon to Horford. Horford to Tatum. Tatum fouled. I believe he's going to the free throw line. Yeah. So yeah, 120, 112. He knocks these two down. You get 120, 114. A lot would have to happen to close that gap in, 30-something seconds, but we'll see. We will see. So yeah, like I said, I will be here post-game. If you want to throw comments or questions in the chat, we can definitely do that. I'll hang around for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, however long the conversation goes. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Knocks it down. The second one, 120, 114. So yeah, I'm prepared for the overreaction tomorrow. I'm not going to do it. I don't have the energy to do it. Is it a disappointing loss? Sure. Only for the fact that you'd love to see your team win 4 straight. It's not going to happen. I had the Celtics in 6. Miami had to win a game at some point. They just happened to do it the first game. Yes, and we know. People are going to be like, oh, Tatum didn't, whatever. Don't care. Tatum has shown he can bounce back from a bad game. All this does is the same pressure that was in the series against Philadelphia, where you needed to win game 2 after losing game 1. Same boat. If you go back to Miami 1-1, is that the best position to be in? No. Is it the worst? No. Then all you do is, you take one back in Miami. Look, you've got home court advantage again. So, like I said, it's one game. Jimmy Butler was great. But you're going to get a Jimmy, in a 7-game series, you're going to get at least maybe 3 really good Jimmy Butler games. So you got one here. Same thing like the other side. I think Brown started off really well. It's kind of quiet there in the middle. He's tried to do a little bit more here in the fourth. I think he will play better in game two. I feel like Tatum's been okay. I think he'll play better in game two. So we'll see. We will absolutely have to see. Also, the other thing I'm going off of is it has been an odd year in sports anyway. So at this point, I could see anything happening. Talking about the finals starting June 1st. Okay, that's about right. Yeah, so we're what, 2 weeks away? Gabe Vincent's on the floor again. He's holding his knee. They tried to trap Jimmy Butler in the backcourt and got a foul call. As Butler's looking around like, y'all literally just ran away from me. I guess it was a foul. The camera angle they showed, I couldn't tell, but take their word for it. Butler shoots, misses the first free throw. I mean, if he misses the second one, 6-point game, 17 and a half minutes. 17 and a half seconds. It's not over. No, it's over. Hits the second one in 123, 116. 15 seconds ago, Brown pulls up deep three, missed it. Strus with the rebound, dribble out the clock, and that's going to end game one. Heat lead the series 1-0. Game two will be Thursday night. I will do game two. I do believe we're taking the week off on pregame pigskin, so I'll be here, right here. And as I said, I might do the Western Conference game tomorrow. Yeah, I think I will. So yeah, got the Heat players walking out, Celtics players walking out. It's 123, 116 the final. Looks like TNT is going to talk to Jimmy Butler here. Yeah. So hold on, let me pull up the box scores so we can talk about the final numbers for certain players. Yeah, don't need to see that anymore. Hold on a second. Let me pull up again. Yo, bro, love TNT. Hold on a second. I just have to double check on here. Who said that? Oh, Evan. What's going on, Evan? No, yeah, I like TNT as well. I was just saying that it was just funny. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier, but it was just funny with the previous series, Celtics and the Sixers, how many Celtics fans weren't happy with ESPN's coverage with Doris Burke. So I wonder what they're going to say about TNT. But yeah, I love TNT. I love their pregame show. For the most part, I guess the people they haven't, like, I love Kevin Harlan. He's one of the best at it. I still don't know what I feel about Van Gundy on broadcast. Reggie Miller, I think, is up and down, but that's okay. Okay, see, you agree. Yeah, ESPN, I don't know. It was. Yeah, TNT's clearly better. But yeah, so I'm sticking around for a little bit of post game here. Just pulling out the box score so we can see the damage that was done. Box score. Yep. So yeah, Heat win. Yeah, this scoreboard here didn't update, but it's 123-116 final. Simplest way to explain this game: third quarter, Heat dominated. That was enough for them to win this one. Celtics won every other quarter, but the third quarter they were completely outmatched, and that was the difference. So looking at the Heat, we'll start with them. Obviously you were led by Jimmy Butler's 35, but that's what Jimmy Butler is very much capable of doing, especially in the playoffs. Adebayo was really good, 20 points and 8 rebounds. He created a lot of havoc, both offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. Gabe Vincent and Strus, as well as Kyle Lowry and Cody Martin. Each gave 15 points. So you got 60 points between the four of those guys. I mean, the Heat will take that every night. And Kevin Love gave you 8, but I mean, it's Kevin Love. Kevin Love's like 50 now. I'm just kidding. But I mean, I liked that move when Kevin Love joined the Heat. Looks like he's going to be a part of this series. He knocked down a couple of threes, which that's what Kevin Love gives you. He gave you 6 rebounds in 16 minutes. That's a good day's work for Kevin Love. They were 54% from the field, 52% from 3. That's definitely a plus for Miami as well. 79% from the free throw line. Only at 12 turnovers. That's Evan says, "Come on, gotta have some love." I like Kevin Love. I like the move for Miami. He did 16 minutes. He gives you 8 and 6. You'll take that. 12 turnovers, so not too bad there. 12 steals. That's a high number as well. Now looking at the other side with the Celtics, we had all right. So we had Tatum, who gave you 30 and 7 with 11 for 11 from the free throw line. So look, I know Reggie Miller and Van Gundy were critical of him. He got to the free throw line 11 times. I mean, he took 11 shots from the free throw line. That has been a big part of Tatum's game this year. Because remember, last year he was only getting to the line like 4 or 5 attempts. This year I think he was up around 8 or 9. He got 11. That shows me he was aggressive at times. So I'm not going to be too critical of Tatum tonight. Horford struggled. He was 1 for 5 from 3. I think a lot of those 3-point shots were shots he can knock down. So would like to see Horford knock down a couple more threes. If Horford can give you like 3 to 4 threes a game, well, probably not 4. That might be pushing. But if he gives you 3 threes a game, I think the Celtics are in a better situation. Robert Williams, 14 and 7. Fine with that. Smart, 13 points, 11 assists. I care more about the 11 assists with Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown, 22 and 9 rebounds, 5 assists. So Jaylen Brown had a pretty good game as well. I think the story of this one will be defensively. That third quarter, that was the worst part of the game for me. Because outside of that, I don't think the Celtics were that bad. That one quarter, they were atrocious. But 3 quarters of this game, they were pretty good. They got 19 from Brogdon off the bench, and Derek White gave them 11. So now for adjustments. What does Mazzulla do? He tried Pritchard as the 8th guy in the rotation this game. Do we get Grant Williams as the 8th guy next game? Have to see. I guess that's the only change necessarily you would make. Who's going to be the 8th guy off the bench? Like I said, tonight Pritchard. Thursday night could be Williams, could be Pritchard again. I guess that's the only 2 options. I don't know if Hauser is even on Joe Mazzulla's mind. I still think Hauser's more of a next year contributor. Looking at the Heat went with 9 guys, although Zeller and Robinson were 7 minutes and 9 minutes, so I don't even know if you really count them. So rotation wise, you'll probably get more of the same in game 2. The Celtics just have to stay out of the bad habits they had in the third quarter. That's it. That's all I think. But yeah, we've been here before. They lost game 1 in the Philly series. They bounced back in game 2. Have to see if they can do that here against the Heat. We know the Heat will come out to play. Can you count on Kyle Lowry going 3 for 5 from 3 in game 2? I don't know. Cody Martin going 3 for 7 from 3? I don't know. Strus and Vincent both going 3 for 5? I mean, I don't know if the Heat go 52% game 2. The Celtics were 35%, which they're more. I think as a team in the regular season, the Celtics shot over 40% from 3, I believe. So there's a little bit of room for improvement there in that aspect for the Celtics, and I know the Heat didn't shoot 52% from 3 in the regular season. So you have to believe those two numbers probably get back closer to the norm in game 2, and that could be the difference the other way for the Celtics in game 2 as well. Hey, you get outscored by 21 in the third quarter. You lose by 7. Like I said, that's all you need to know for this game. So like I said, here in the post-game show, I'll hang around for a couple more minutes. If anybody wants to say something in the chat, feel free to do so. If not, like I said, I'll hang around for another minute or so, another couple of minutes. For those of you who are tuning in, appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like on the video as well. So looking at the rest of this series, like I said, any night that I am not doing a show over on Sports Empire Network, I will do a play-by-play for you guys. But as I say that, make sure you subscribe to Sports Empire Network as well, because I am a contributor over there on a few shows. Plus, there's some other shows on the network that are really good as well. You know, some people from the network were in the chat today, so definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, we had Jordan come through. We had Gene come through. I believe Key, Evan. So, yeah. Thank you guys as well. See a few others who are popping in. So, like I said, pop in, say, hey, what's up? Give me your thoughts on the game. Any questions you may have, feel free to drop that in the chat as well. So, yeah, 123-116. Heat have a 1-0 series lead. Western Conference Finals game number 2 is tomorrow night, where the Nuggets have the 1-0 series lead. So I'd say for both games, they're both pretty good. This game was a little closer throughout the whole game, as the Nuggets had a bigger lead last night, but then it got really tight late. So all in all, both games were exciting. So I'd say look for Horford to have a better game 2, and I think Tatum has a better game 2. Even though he did drop 30, game 2 I could see him pushing for like 35. So yeah. Look, I get it, it's a 2 versus 8 series, but when it comes to playoffs, Miami, they just know how to turn it on at the right time. But I still think the Celtics win this one in 6. I said this earlier, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over this game. But I always say with game 1s, that's the best chance for the road team to steal a game early in a series. Because, you know, first game, the underdog or the road team kind of comes out and plays no pressure, and the pressure is on the home team in the game one to establish itself, establish the home court. And what do we see? We saw a Heat team that played really loose tonight. The Celtics played loose, I'd say, for the first half, and then the third quarter they got a little tight when Miami really started getting going, and they just never recovered from that. So Mazzulla has a lot to talk about. Spoelstra has a lot to talk about. Spoelstra's a really good coach. I know last series, you'd probably say Doc Rivers coached better than Mazzulla games 1 through 5. Second half of 6 and 7, Mazzulla was the better coach. Spoelstra gets the nod in game 1. Although I don't think Mazzulla did a terrible job. But yeah. Like I said, give it a couple more minutes. Anyone wants to throw a comment in there or a question, we can do that for a little bit more. If not, I'll get a few more minutes before I call it a night. So all in all, it was a fun night. Even though my team took a loss, but it's all good. All good. Actually, let me look at something real quick. Did the Red Sox win tonight? They did. Okay. All's not lost. The Red Sox won. Okay. They won 12-3. These Boston fans have that to look forward to. Let's see. Let's do that. All right. So game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, I guess what I expect to see in that one, and this might be the last thing I say before I get out of here. I think the Nuggets do more of the same. And for the Lakers, I don't know if the Lakers changed much of anything, because I don't know if they can. But we'll have to see. Because everybody is, armchair quarterbacking Darvin Ham and saying start the game with Hachimura in the starting lineup and put him on Jokic because it worked at the second half in game 1. Does he actually do that? I'm interested to see how that goes for the start. If not, will we just get more of the same in game 2? Obviously, the Lakers don't want to go down 2-0, but even with the Lakers, is it the end of the world as a road team if you're down 2-0 going back home? No, it does put pressure on you to then sweep the home series necessarily yourself. Whereas with this series, Miami wins game 1. If they take their foot off the gas in game 2 and lose that one, go back home 1-1, that's still a win for Miami. Unless the Celtics then split in Miami, and now home court shifts back. So both losing teams are in 2 different situations, I would say. But all in all, only game 1. Not that big of a deal. But as we're coming up on the 2.5-hour mark, also, as I said in the beginning, my apologies for being a little bit late. Like I said, I thought the game was on ESPN. I had in my mind Eastern Conference was on ESPN for whatever reason, but it was on TNT, so I had to scramble around, find that stream, and then I came on here. So that's it. But game 2, I guarantee you I'll be here early, and we'll actually get a pregame in before getting into the game and the postgame as well. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, doesn't seem like there's any other questions or comments in the chat, so I guess I'll wrap it up unless while I'm talking here somebody has something to say. But if not, appreciate you stopping by with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you do, let me know. If you didn't like it and there's something you'd like for me to change about it, I'm also open to that as well. I mean, what is life if we can't handle criticism? So I can definitely take it. So bring it on. But yeah, so make sure you look out for notification about me, I guess, doing the stream for the Western Conference Finals Game 2, as well as Eastern Conference Finals Game 2 on Thursday. I would love to do both of them. I might only get a chance to do one of them. We'll see. But hit the notification bell over on ESPN. I'm not ESPN, good Lord. YouTube or Twitch, so you'll know for sure when I make that schedule. For those of you on Facebook, appreciate you tuning in as well. You know what you can do there. Like the video. If you are not a part of the Chomping at the Bit Facebook group, make sure you join that group as well, because I put all my episodes in there. I do the live streams on there, which, I mean, if you came in the chat and talked from that video, then obviously you know about it. But if not, you let some other people know they could come into the group. Just the group I have for the podcast page. Get some nice sports talk in there as well. Twitter people as well. Make sure you follow me. That way you don't miss any streams or episodes. But, yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate the growth on the channel. Couldn't do that without you. Hopefully 2023 continues to be a big year here on the channel. But with that, with the Heat taking the 1-0 series lead, I guess I'll say good night, and I'll catch you all. I may have an episode out before tomorrow night's Game 2. We'll see. If not, I'll just see you tomorrow night. But enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe out there. God bless, and I'll see you later. All right, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day.